Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Go, you drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
Especially as the weekly clip show gets better, because right now it's kind of all over the place as we're basically treading the waters. In fact, I got an email from someone. I'd like to read this to you guys. I got an email, and I'm not going to obviously reveal the name of the person or whatever, okay? But someone wrote me an email. I'm going to read it to you guys without revealing any personal information. Here's what they said. DSP, I'm noticing two glaring issues with your new DSP versus the Internet series. If left unchecked, it will likely become detrimental to your channel over time. Seems very serious business, okay? Number one, regardless of the kind of membership a subscriber to DSP Reacts has, people are still paying you to publicly react to content that they think that you might like. Well, yes and no. They are becoming a member because they like the idea that I'm doing React-style projects, and they want to support it. As a bonus to that, they're getting to nominate the videos for the show. You know, yes, it's true, they're getting that ability, but it's not a transactional relationship. They're not buying anything. It's not like they spent $5 and I hand them a sandwich. Okay, it's you support the channel, and now you get the ability to toss the videos up, but there's no guarantee I'm watching them. There's no guarantee I'm watching them at length, and there's no guarantee I'm going to like them. You don't know, right? That's basically the point. Excuse me, some gas. We had a brand new channel over there, and we're trying something new. Something that I've never done before. And this show will undoubtedly get better over time, but this is something that takes time to get better. Just take a look at the pilot versus episode 1 and now episode 2. I would argue that every week the show is getting a little better. Every week we're getting a little bit of a better idea of what's better to react to, what's more my personal interest, what's more the viewing audience's personal interest, and it's going to get better over time. That's the point of a show like that. It's not, oh, finger snap, everything's perfect, right? It needs to actually grow over time and evolve. But it's something that we work on together, right? Okay, let's continue. I think there needs to be a bit more fairness and openness from you in reacting to the content members share. It's a big letdown waiting a week or even more due to your upload schedule for you to react to a video only for you to skip it because it doesn't suit your personal interest. That's not cool. The entire premise of the show is you reacting to content only channel members nominate, correct? So when you're so disinterested and dismissive of that content, you ruin the fun, uniqueness, and purpose of the show, making it less entertaining overall. It's wrong. The point of the show is not Phil just reacts to stuff he likes. I mean, how would you even predict that? Honestly, how would you predict that? How would you know that if someone presents something to you, you're going to enjoy it? A lot of the times, some of those clips that get presented sound like they're going to be good, right? They do. But then I watch it and it's just not funny for whatever reason. Or maybe it's informative and you're learning something, but it doesn't end up being entertaining for a viewing audience. It's like I said, that first week, some people had posted up videos that were more like the Did You Know Gaming video about Street Fighter, okay? That's a very informative video. And someone who likes Street Fighter or wants to know more about it may watch that video and be like, wow, that's a bunch of stuff I never knew about Street Fighter. I learned a ton. This is great. I'm glad that I watched the video. But when we're watching it on stream together, we're like, it's kind of dry. There's nothing really too funny or interesting or, oh my God, jaw-dropping here. It's a bunch of random information, but it's not something that an audience needs to watch together. You understand? There are some videos that definitely are for personal enjoyment and digestion. And then there's other videos that I feel are meant for public consumption, right? There's no reason to watch certain content in a public setting. But you don't know that till you try it, you see? Now, let's continue on. Number 2, you really need to preface criteria for submissions. The most popular React channels typically react to content their creators are personally interested in. This makes the reactions more engaging for that reason. Clearly, there's a lot of video comedic styles that aren't interesting compared to others. It needs to be communicated so people can nominate the right kind of videos to get the latest reactions out of you, or the best reactions out of you. I agree. And every week, I get the feeling this person doesn't know because they're probably not a channel member. Every week, when I post up the thread by which the channel members can nominate videos for me to watch, I actually have reiterated some of that. For example, I can actually quote it live here because I can actually pull open the community tab. Okay. So right here, scroll down to what the members are seeing, and members of the channel, here's the three posts, all right? So I actually posted up on last week's show, all right? Here it is. Please note, based on the last episode, anything that ends up being flagged for 18 plus, anything that is a music video type of video, likely will end up being an issue that we cannot watch. In addition, the educational videos just don't go over well, so I'd recommend against suggesting those as well. Do you see? Now, last time I suggested, hey, how about some cooking videos? Because that bad cooking video that we watched of, what was her name, Kay or whatever, from the UK, that one was funny. And I reacted pretty well to it because I was like, I can't believe she thinks this is a real recipe. Then we reacted to, what's his name, King Cobra, and that worked out well. So what I'm doing, I mean, what you're suggesting, I'm actually doing, but it sounds like you don't know that because you're not a channel member. Right now we have 60 members on DSP React, and admittedly, I know for a fact some of them get a little disappointed if they nominate something and they really want me to enjoy it, and then I don't enjoy it on the show. Or the flip side of this, I actually, I go to play it, and I'm liking it, but the entire audience is saying, skip it, we don't like it, skip it, go to the next, skip it. Now, you have to understand there's a combination of factors here. In some cases, I do believe people acting like that are legit, like maybe they're bored. On the other hand, I think there's some people who are going to come to those streams literally just to spam skip it, to try to troll. It's a way of trolling. Say everything I'm watching is bad. That way you'll never know anything's good, and people will always seem like, oh, everyone's dissatisfied, when in reality that's not the case, okay? Right now, that show is consistently getting 1,000 views on each part, even the bad parts, right? The parts that arguably don't have a bunch of fun stuff to watch, the clips don't work, still getting around 1,000 views. So that's obviously means something, right? The audience is there for it. I'm not too worried about it. And like I said, what I think will happen is over time, give it a couple months, that show is going to get refined because people are going to start to see what clips are the best ones that work and what ones aren't. For example, the last clip that we watched on DSP versus the internet, which actually should be live right now, it actually probably just went live on that channel, was a person in the first person, okay, riding a bike, delivering food. That was absolutely fascinating. It was like, you get to see what it's like to ride around a major city on a bike, first of all. You get to see what it's like picking up this food from various restaurants. How do they transport it around? You get to see how these delivery jobs work. What kind of tips are they making on them, right? It's interesting. And then you get to see actually how hard is it to deliver the food when you never know what to expect when you show up. You might have someone who's ready and equipped to receive that food, and you might have someone else who just, you can't even find them. It was fast. I would think we watched like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of it. I loved that video. It was really good. Now, will I want to watch that every single week? No. But every once in a while to watch one of those random videos, especially if something particularly interesting happens in it, I think that would be really good content. You see? Now, how would we have known that? I would have never guessed that that would have been good, but it was. So that's the thing with the show. It's going to be random in nature. There is absolutely no way to predict what will work or what won't, but that's always one of the cool things about the show is you don't know what to expect. It's random. And that's one of the things. What's next? The suspense of what's the next clip. Is it going to be great? Is it not going to work out? What could it be? I like that feeling of surprise, right? Now, in addition, some things that work may not always work. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, we watched a Video Game Donkey clip. It was the first time I had ever seen anything from Video Game Donkey. I thought it was pretty good. This week, people submitted like 3 of them. Now hold on a second. There is something called burnout and oversaturation. You understand? So you might like something today, but if you watch it endlessly, it's probably not that entertaining or funny anymore. And that's what happens is with something like Video Game Donkey, you watch it. Okay, this is good. You move on. Maybe you'll watch them in another week or 2, right? But for me, every week we're watching Video Game Donkey clips and in one show we're watching 3, that doesn't work. You understand? So that's what I mean. These are things we're going to learn in time. These are not things that it's overnight learning. And it's funny because this person in the email, I know they're well-intentioned. This is not someone who is essentially trying to be hateful on the show or anything like that. I feel like they sent me this email in an attempt to actually improve the quality, okay? And I agree with some of the things that they're saying. However, all right, number 1, the whole point of the show is variety and surprise. If every single thing I watched on there was guaranteed to be good, that actually does change the premise somewhat of the show. All right? I like the idea that every week someone can suggest something completely different to me, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but because we are open to suggestion of new stuff, we could be discovering new things that we never knew existed or would work, and they will. Like that delivery video. If you had asked me on paper, Phil, what about a delivery video like that? I would have been like, nah, I don't think so. Then we watched it. I was like, whoa, this is really good. You see? If I laid out very restrictive criteria as to what I was going to watch, I don't think the show would be as good. We'd end up watching the same stuff every week and it wouldn't be that fun. Now, in addition, again, I gotta reiterate, the point of the channel is not transactional. You're not buying a video, okay? I'm guaranteeing you, if you're an Ultra member, that I will watch one of your videos, one a week. Why? Because I'm very grateful for the level of support you're giving the channel, and only one video means we won't be oversaturated with the same people submitting the same kind of videos every week. It's one a week, that's it, and we get through those within the first video usually, and then we're on to the other more common submissions, you see? So, I feel, again, this is a show that will get better in time. We'll all learn together. I agree with you, not everything works, but I have not heard a mass complaint from anyone that they're not enjoying being a member and they're not liking the fact that the clips that I'm selecting that I like or don't like. I haven't heard that at all. And people have the ability to send me that feedback. Please, by all means, do. If you're a member over there on DSP Reacts and you're like, oh, you know, I've been a member, I don't like it. Let me know. You know, I want that kind of feedback, but I haven't heard that at all. 0 people have complained. One person expressed they were disappointed because they did suggest a bunch of stuff and we watched it together and it didn't really work. And there's not much you can do about that. But every week it will get better, you know? There you go. So, you know, and again, the other thing is some people are like, well, why don't you watch the videos in their entirety? Because then we'd get through 4 videos. You understand some of the videos people are suggesting are 27 minutes long. It's a 3-hour show. We'll end up watching 5 videos. I don't want, you know, it's supposed to be a variety show. It's not supposed to be Phil reacts to long-form content. We have a show for that every month. We just did one. It was the Pro Jared documentary, you see? So that's the point of a fast-moving clip show versus a long-form show. It's a little different. Anyway, thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the email. And again, please understand I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying. I actually believe a lot of your points are valid, but I think these are things that will actually gradually get better in time with a show like that. That's the point of us doing it once a week. It's kind of like, what do they call it? Not growing pains, but there's a word. Feeling it out. You know, there's a term for it. That as something is new and it becomes more familiar, it becomes better in time. You know, it's evolution, it's growth, it's experience. It's, you know, it will get better.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.